Thank you for listening to this Podcast One production, available on Apple Podcasts and Podcast One.
There is a place that is spoken about only in whispers, a dark area that spawns the beginnings of urban legends, a place where anything can happen and usually does. During the light of day, it hides just outside of view, but when the sun goes down, spirits, creatures of the night, roam free, and things do go bump in the night. It is in every state and every country, and there is no escaping it, no matter how safe you feel behind your locked doors and latched windows. So we invite you to turn down the lights and turn up your radio while we join Dave Schrader and Tim Dennis, your hosts, on a journey into the darkness on the edge of town.
Hello and welcome. You're tuned into the best in paranormal talk radio. This is Beyond the Darkness. I'm your host, Dave Schrader. That guy over there, Tim Dennis at the Supernatural News Desk. How are you, Tim?
Doing well.
You know, we record these shows and in the early morning and afternoon on Fridays for the weekend. And sometimes a news story will slip past us. And one got past us because the news broke earlier or later last Friday after we had already recorded our show. But I did want to make a mention that Derek Acorah, the star of TV series Most Haunted and Celebrity Big Brother, has passed away at the age of 69. And his wife has confirmed that in a tragic statement. Derek Acorah, death at the age of 69, confirmed in the early hours by his wife, Gwen Acorah. The TV mystic appeared on Celebrity Big Brother in 2017 after launching the paranormal series Most Haunted 16 years earlier. The star's spouse of more than 20 years took to his official Facebook page to share the tragic news. She revealed how he had been in an intensive care after falling into a coma in the very moving comments, which were accompanied by a picture of her late husband. "Farewell, my love," Gwen wrote. "I will miss you forever. I'm devastated to announce that my beloved husband, Derek, has passed away after a very brief illness." She continued, "Thank you so much to everybody who has supported me. I can never thank you enough." Gwen went on to suggest Derek had been targeted by trolls before his death in the second part of her statement. She added, "To the vile couple who hounded him for responses to their ridiculous campaign whilst he was in intensive care in a coma, I hope you have the decency to hang your heads in shame." Then she says, "I have things to deal with now, but I won't forget, nor will I forgive what you have done." Derek found fame as a spiritual medium and fronted predictions with Derek Acorah early in his career. He appeared in Series 20 of Celebrity Big Brother, where he came in fourth after living with the likes of Sarah Harding, Amelia Lilly, Sam Thompson, Chad Johnson, all people we don't know here in the United States. The season saw him lead a ghostly tour through several suits while Trisha Paytas walked out of the show. Born in Bootle, Merseyside in 1950, Derek featured in a regular segment on 1996 TV show The Psychic Zone before becoming a contributor on a spin-off known as Psychic Lifetime. His own show, where he would conduct readings with members of the public in their own homes, became a front-runner of the genre of paranormal investigative programs. And in 2001, he joined Most Haunted when it launched and worked on the show for 6 series. Some years later, he fronted Michael Jackson, The Live Seance, which saw the medium attempt to contact the singer's spirit, and he had performed regular live shows across the UK with further dates planned for February and May, according to his website. Derek previously revealed he had a ghostly guide named Sam who helped him through his life decisions. And he told the Nottingham Post, "I first met my spirit guide Sam in a previous lifetime when I was an Ethiopian boy, and Sam was a friend of the family. This is about 2,038 years ago," he said. "When my village was attacked by some marauding invaders, I heard the screaming and I scampered away." Twitter has been inundated with tributes to him, with one post reading, "Heaven gained an angel, a true gentleman, and one of my husband's dearest friends. My heart goes out to this wonderful wife, Gwen, and their family. We will love and miss you forever. Shine bright, Derek, and sleep tight." And another comment, "I'm devastated to announce that my beloved husband, Derek Acorah, has passed away after a very brief illness." That was from her Twitter message as well. The reason I wanted to mention this specifically, when we first started the show back in January of 2006, we were a young little upstart show. We were lucky enough to be friends with the guys from Ghost Hunters, and they helped us launch this series by visiting us. Jason Hawes in the first episode. I think Grant Wilson came on about a month and a half later. Steve Gonzalez, Dave Tango. They've all been a part of the program at one point. But that also opened a lot of doors for celebrities from other paranormal shows. And when we were on, Derek Acora was certainly a big name and very well known.
Yeah.
And he had dealt with the scandal that had broken out on Most Haunted. And he agreed to come on and do our show and agreed to just have fun with us, which he did. He allowed us to poke fun lovingly at the situation, play a few of our favorite audio bits from the show, including the Mary Loves Dick, Richard comments, which again still go down as one of my all-time favorite scenes from any paranormal TV show.
Right.
And he was so generous with his time and personality. He didn't know us anything, and he came on the show and answered the questions, and just a gentleman. And I kept in touch with him through the years by email, not as often as I'd like, and had just missed him appearing on a couple of our anniversary shows. But because Derek was constantly filming or out doing live programs and readings, it was hard for us to connect again, and I really regret that we didn't find time to make another connection with Derek Acora. He and his wife, Gwen, are in our thoughts and prayers. And like I said, just a great guy, Tim. I mean, to have given us the time at the beginning, that really helped set us apart from other shows.
Yeah, he was a great guy and very giving, as you said. He selfless. He gave of his time and really gave us a boost when he didn't have to. He didn't know us from Adam and came along and at a time, like you said, when Most Haunted was in a sketchy spot at best and really rocked by scandal, he could have easily said, you know what, boys, we're not in a place right now where we should be talking. And a lot of shows would have maybe went into the shadows and let things pass over. Derek wasn't like that. He appeared on the show and kind of took the bullets, as it were, and like you said, he had some fun with it, and we had a really good time with him, and he was refreshing. He wasn't, you know how some psychics may have an air about them, an air of grandiosity. Derek wasn't like that. He was very much down to earth, had a great sense of humor, and it was a great time, and he will be missed.
I know when I went to do the England trip a few years back, I had reached out to him, and he very lovingly wrote back and was going to try to figure out a time to get together for dinner and join our little group, but we couldn't connect. And it was just so sweet that he kept writing back, oh, I'm really heartbroken, I'm sorry. I mean, he didn't have to say that, just, oh, Dave, sorry, I'm really busy. But he wrote back to me a few times, and just a very good man. And before you start your email campaign about what a fake and a fraud he was, shut the up. You don't know him. Right. You're going off the words of people on a TV show whose job it was to protect him and his image. And instead of doing that, they set him up for failure and tried to make a mockery of him. And right. He came back swinging and never went down. The guy kept appearing on shows and was charming and sweet and did his deal. And when you're a medium on a TV show, I've watched it with poor Cindy Keza on our show. And I'm not putting her down or him down at all. Man, the stress. I'm glad that's the one job I don't have on the Holzer Files.
Yep.
You've got so much pressure to have something come through, anything that might be integral to the story. And, the entire cast and crew of Most Haunted was in on this trick to Derek. So this guy was a sensitive. Did he pick up on all of these people thinking this story, this false narrative? And he picked up on that. I mean, that's got as much power as anything. So I'm not trying to give the guy an out, but, I know too many people that have met him, had readings with him, and say he was amazing, and he was so good to us. I just, I don't necessarily believe that. Maybe, Tim, you could fish from our archives of one of our first years, find that episode, and we could throw it up as a bonus free episode.
Yeah, we can take a look and see if it's got to be somewhere around the archives. It's kind of in the process of tearing stuff apart here in the studio, but we can try and find it. What's interesting is you mentioned psychics. There's only two positions in television that are the worst positions ever: TV psychics and meteorologists, because you have to be 100% on all the time, otherwise people get on your case. Psychics.
Maybe if they brought a psychic meteorologist in, both jobs would be easier.
Oh, that would be the worst of both worlds, because then you have to be 100% on the entire time.
Derek Acorah's friends, though, are reaching out. They believe that the late TV medium is going to contact them from beyond the grave.
Really?
Friends of Most Haunted star Derek Acorah reportedly reckon the late television medium will be in touch to reassure them he is at peace. According to the Daily Star, co-stars and paranormal investigator Phil Wyman thinks Derek, who is understood to have passed away on Friday of last week, age 69, after developing sepsis and pneumonia, falling into a coma, will crack some jokes when he gets in contact from beyond the grave. And fellow medium Mickey Vermooch, 66, is also said to be convinced that the controversial Merseyside TV personality will make his presence felt in order to communicate with his loved ones. The tabloid reports that Mickey was saying Derek doted on his family. Him and his wife were devoted to each other. I know for a fact it won't take long before he makes himself known. He will find someone he wants to make contact with him to say Derek has arrived in the spirit world. I don't think it'll be too long until that happens. He will want them to know he's safe. In terms of coming back from the spirit world, I say he has a head start. His faith is everything. Gwen, Derek's wife of 24 years, told devastated fans and well-wishers that she is heartbroken, of course, by the loss. She reported to have told the Sun's website he was taken really quickly. It was pneumonia which got him in the end. He developed sepsis and was in intensive care. She added, I'm heartbroken to have lost him. It's devastating that he's gone. Now, his former co-star, Yvette Fielding, was among many that took to social media to pay tribute to the medium himself. And she also took part in Celebrity Big Brother 2017. And it also emerged on January 4th that Derek told his fans, life is too short. And he said that just hours before his death. Yeah, a post shared on his Instagram account urged followers, life is too short to start your day with broken pieces of yesterday. It will definitely destroy your wonderful today and ruin your great tomorrow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder, as I sit here and I think about it, when you think about a medium who passes away and then crosses over, you think about how they would contact someone on the other side and how they would prove that they're on the other side. The first thing I think of when I think of Derek Acorah is, did he make contact with Sam in the end, and what that meeting was like? And then the second thing I think of is does he appear to his lovely wife first and what that meeting is like? And then who does he reach out to second to try to validate that he got there? I mean, those questions are kind of intriguing to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. It'll be interesting to see what happens, and I'm sure many people will be reporting it. I'm sure there's already one jackass breaking out his
I'm sure. I know
spirit box, to claim he made first contact. Mm-hmm. But all right, that's that. I do want to make a quick mention of something. You know, Tim and I do a lot with charity, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and have helped raise damn near $1 million for charities since we began this program. And one of our listeners brought up a really great program called Heart Crate. HeartCrate.org. What they do is Heart Crate collaborates with approved referral agencies to identify children in need. The child must be currently involved in either welfare or qualify for free and reduced meals. Then the caregiver or a professional sits down with the child to complete a short questionnaire and discover what the child is passionate about. And then step 3, based on the information provided by the referral, Heart Crate will curate a box of awesome stuff specific to that child's interests and passions. And then 4, the Heart Crate box is shipped to the child, and they are ready to enjoy its contents. With every box comes a letter from a volunteer expressing the importance of connecting with your passions and engaging in positive communities. Did you know that 2.9 million cases of child abuse are reported each year in the United States. Abuse is defined as cruelty or violence toward a person, sometimes repeated or regular. Over 250,000 children in the United States are removed from their homes every year due to child abuse. And neglect is one of the most common forms of child maltreatment and occurs when caregivers just fail to properly care for their child. The impacts of childhood neglect can range from difficulty building attachments with others to sleep disturbances to the inability to even meet one's basic needs. And trauma is not limited to abuse and neglect. It comes in all shapes and sizes, each of which can be just as impactful. Poverty is a social and economic state that can be difficult to break free from without the ability to grow and connect. And Heart Crate believes these kids should be provided for and get the relief that they deserve. You remember that special toy you had as a kid? Well, Heart Crate finds the items that will be meaningful and specific to that child. Toys could include vinyl collectibles, dolls, board games, plush toys, building bricks, all of the fun stuff. There's books, all these things that they include. If you would be so kind, folks, visit heartcrate.org, heartcrate.org. You'll find more information and ways that you can make donations to help families and children specifically in need. You can get a box. You can, if you believe that your child or somebody that you know needs this, they have resources to help you there. You can donate so that you can make sure that children continue to get these great boxes full of toys and joy. So please go check out heartcrate.org. Again, we love helping and doing what we can to spread the word about great organizations, and Heart Crate sounds phenomenal. So check it out. You know what else you should check out? Giving us a call, 651-300-4977, 651-300-4977. That's the Voices from Beyond voicemail, and we would love to hear from you. Unfortunately, last week, Tim, when we were trying to have a little fun with one of our listeners, and, we mentioned throughout the whole thing, this is done in parody. We're just having a little fun, a lark. We got a phone call reputedly from KJ, but it's choppy, and I don't know if your phone wasn't working properly or what, but only about a quarter of what you're saying can be heard. So, KJ, if that was you, call back in 651-300-4977 so that we can hear the full message. And again, hope you realize that we're doing this in jest and joking. We appreciate you as a listener, your mom and her goofy poodle. We appreciate it all. So thank you very much. But again, we couldn't hear what you were saying in the recording. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you have a paranormal story to share, folks, a creepy encounter, we want to hear from you. 651-300-4977, 651-300-4977. All right, Timothy, where are we off to in the world of supernatural news? I have a feeling that this is a nightmarish week for you, Tim.
You're just trying to get me stirred up, I think, is what you're trying to do here. I think you're trying to give me a heart attack. I think you're trying to get me to keel over and just, that's it. I think you're trying to hit my off switch here is what you're trying to do. Why? You know, last week we talked about these drones over Colorado and Nebraska.
Right.
And we
don't know what they're doing, right? They're just kind of out there hovering, looking, and they're in a pretty big grouping.
Yeah, they come out at twilight, and it is a big grouping. It's not like it's a one or two. It tends to be 10 or 15, and it was speculated that it could be anything from land surveying to I don't know, these drones are taking people out. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're hanging them by their thumbnails or, stripping their entrails or whatever they're doing. I think that's what they're doing.
I heard they're looking for your elusive address, which if they just asked me, I'd tell them.
No, you can't. No, you can't do that.
Maybe they've got gifts and presents, Tim. No, maybe they want to stop by.
Have you?
All right, you're right. Stopping by is rude. Just give them a call at 612.
No. Don't you give those drones my phone number.
Well, dude, that way they can call and tell you what kind of cool stuff they have for you. Maybe it's unlimited McRibs. McDonald's is trying to make good, Tim. Maybe they're trying to fly the items to you.
No, they're not, because you haven't heard anything about unlimited McRibs hanging from these drones. People haven't said, there's
because it's a pilot program. See, a pilot program flying.
There's nothing good coming from these drones, Dave.
You don't know that, Tim. Maybe
I
if
do
you
know
let them
that.
stop by.
I ain't letting no 15, 20 drones land on my front yard.
Right at 314.
No.
612.
Tell you what, no.
What?
You let them land on your front lawn first.
Oh, Tim, I've got children, and I'm important.
And then I'll come over to your place, and I'll let you take the first bite of McRib to make sure it's safe, and then I'll come over and I'll get some McRib from you. How's that sound?
All right. So what's going on? Colorado drones, Nebraska drones. I think it's just somebody bored because they live in Nebraska and Iowa.
Well, Nebraska and Colorado, but
sorry.
Yeah, no, everybody in Iowa is bored. I mean, I've done radio there. I was bored when I was there. I mean, bored to tears. They tell you it was more like living in an X-Files town where everybody's stares were blank and they didn't like outsiders. Did I tell you that? I mean, I may be stirring things up, maybe just slightly.
Maybe, probably. Glad I'm not having to deal with your fallout. People show up at your house at 3:14.
Don't give them my address so they can show up at my house. I'm just saying it was like an X-Files town, Dave. I showed up and they all had these blank stares and they'd wander out into the cornfield and it was scary. It was scary. Anyways, so you've got these to follow up on last week's story. You had this Captain Yowl out across the state line in Colorado. He tried to photograph these drones, but the camera that he was using to document crime scenes couldn't get a clear image of these drones. And there were up to 30 of them at a time that were flying each night, though not all in the same place. Up to 30 of them, Dave. That's why I don't want them on my front lawn. You see what I'm saying? They're not all carrying McRib. I know this. You know this. Come on, you have to know this, right?
Well, maybe it's McRibs and Twinkies, and we're missing out because you're a racist when it comes to robots.
You can't be racist when it comes to robots. Robots don't have a race. They're the same.
They're a race of AI robots, dude.
No. Anyways, so he says local officials were studying the flight path of drones and coordinating across county lines to figure out where they were coming from. If his analysis is correct, he said the drones would be back out last week, flying in a grid pattern in the rural area between Hugo and Carville, Colorado, about 100 miles southeast of Denver. He wanted to know at around 10 o'clock when we start to lose visuals of these, which direction are they homing and which way they're heading, Captain Yowl said. We hope that we can contact somebody on the ground. Sheriff Todd Combs of Yuma County, Colorado, said in a Facebook post last week that the drones appeared to be staying at least 150 feet from buildings or people based on the footage he had seen. He said there are many theories as to what's going on, but at this point, that's all they are. He said, I think we're feeling a little bit vulnerable due to the intrusion of our privacy and that we enjoy in our rural community, but I don't have a solution. Now, there's some speculation as to whether you can shoot these things down or not. There are certain state laws that say, and federal laws that say that you can't shoot a drone down. Now, you said you saw something that says you can shoot them down.
I thought I read that in Colorado, there's no law that says you cannot shoot them down.
See, there's an FAA regulation saying that you cannot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
FAA regulations.
State by state or what?
No. That's a federal law that you can't shoot drones down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know you would be, though.
Oh, I'll shoot that thing down in a minute.
All right. Where are we off to next?
Well, no, it gets scarier, Dave. It's getting scarier
What?
and oh, I'm telling you, you have no idea. It's getting scarier and scarier. Well, you know what? I need to. There is a follow-up story you have in front of me here about the Colorado drone mystery sightings finally being solved. That's the part I didn't get to on this. So you had the one story there, but then there's a second story. The mysterious drone swarms spotted over Colorado that have vexed the governor, law enforcement, and residents might not be so mysterious after all. While no one has taken responsibility and even the Federal Aviation Administration has claimed ignorance, the answer could be a secretive Air Force program. It's not McRibs. See? It's a secretive Air Force program intended to keep prying eyes away from nuclear missile silos, Dave. It is something.
That nonsense,
It's
Tim.
nefarious, Dave. It's nefarious.
You're trying to convince me next that poodles are real dogs and not just a mishmash of missing socks.
Well, they are real dogs.
know about that.
They are. My grandparents had one.
It was just a bunch of socks that had collected from the dryer, Tim, and somehow all spark infected them, and they became living, breathing, creepy sock-like creatures.
No, they were real dogs. Air Force Global Strike Command, which is based in Louisiana, because if you say Louisville, it's got to be Louisiana, right? Has confirmed that it conducts counter-drone exercises out of F.F. Warren Air Force Base in Cheyenne, where it is based. The command oversees underground Minuteman silos spread across northeastern Colorado, southeastern Wyoming, and western Nebraska, the area where the drones have been spotted nightly the past 2 weeks. The Air Force isn't claiming ownership of the drones, but neither is it denying it. Oh, see, they're playing that clever game they play where they don't confirm nor deny. FF Warren didn't respond to an emailed question Friday on whether its counter-drone effort had anything to do with the recent sightings. An FAA map of the region where the drones have been spotted, Logan, Phillips, Sedgwick, and Yuma counties, is pocketed within red dots of where the drones are forbidden, restricted airspace, presumably above missile silos. The Air Force counter-drone program at Warren, which includes extensive testing of civilian drones, relies on innovative technology, including D-Drone, a system which is developed in Europe that detects and tracks small civilian drones using the radio signals they require for control. Run by the 90th Security Support Squadron at Warren, the counter-drone program is one of several across the Defense Department to take aim at the unmanned aircraft. For the nation's missile troops, the camera carried by small drones present a threat because they could give an adversary clues on how to attack intercontinental ballistic missile, a key component of American power. The 90th Missile Wing has a military police unit equipped with helicopters to protect missile silos from threats on the ground. The Warren counter-drone program focuses on the small commercially available drones that can be purchased on Amazon for as little as $50. So we're protecting our missile silos with small little $50 drones, just so you know.
You got to cut corners somewhere, Tim.
You do. I mean, the defense budget has shrunk just slightly.
Yes.
In a news release, the Air Force said the commercial drones provide a realistic training environment. Lisa Meserve, who handles federal sales for D-Drone, said her company is working with private companies and government organizations, including the Air Force, to detect drone flights. The firm has worked with F.E. Warren since an initial contract in 2017, while Meserve couldn't say where the drones in northeastern Colorado came from. She said the Air Force is fond of testing F.E. Warren's drone detecting capabilities. They fly drones against what they have all the time, she said. The Phillips County Sheriff's Office first reported drone sightings on December 20th, noting that as many as 16 drones had been spotted in Phillips and Yuma counties. The location of the drones alone was enough to prompt suspicion. The two counties combined have just over 14,000 residents and aren't known for having a large contingent of drone enthusiasts. We believe that the drones, though startling, are not malicious in nature, the Phillips County Sheriff said on Facebook. The Sheriff's Office are following up on leads and communications with state and federal officials to pinpoint the exact nature of their activities. The drone sightings have made national news, with networks and newspapers delving into the mystery. Federal agencies from the FAA to the Colorado Springs-based North American Aerospace Defense Command have denied involvement, but some drone incidents in Colorado have had military roots, including one in 2015 in which a wayward drone from Fort Carson landed in a downtown Colorado Springs yard. In 2017, a drone used in an Army training exercise in Arizona rode jet stream winds and was found in the foothills west of Denver. Small drones have also wound up as battlefield weapons in recent years. Battlefield weapons, Dave, with the Islamic State using some small drones to drop hand grenades on foes. I'm just saying. These things are dangerous, Dave. They're dangerous. Countering...
Not all, Tim. Not all AI is dangerous. That's where you're being racist.
It's all dangerous, Dave. All dangerous.
God.
Countering drone threats means quickly adjusting to new technologies rapidly entering the drone market. It certainly gets more difficult by the day to solve, D-Drones MESERV said. The Air Force is fielding a growing array of counter-drone weapons intended for use on overseas battlefields, including a new truck-mounted laser beams, Dave, lasers, delivered in October by Raytheon. They need to shoot the damn things down with lasers, Dave. That's how dangerous they are.
I'm pretty sure if we do that, lasers are going to be zipping around, taking out like pelicans and kites and hot air balloons. I don't know. Could be taking out all the wrong things.
I'll tell you this much, Dave. Back in old Renaissance Italy, pelicans were the first drones. That's how Da Vinci used to bomb people.
No kidding.
I'm just saying.
First of all, news to me. I did not realize that Da Vinci was a bit of a bomber.
He was. In his spare time when he wasn't painting ceilings. He was bombing people. Yeah, I'm just here to inform the masses. That's what I'm here to do. 5 years ago, a few people worried about the drone threat. Ray Azevedo, president of Raytheon Space and Airborne Systems, said in a news release, now we hear about attacks or incursions all the time, Dave. All the time. Our customers...
Wow, why are you so aggressive to me?
I'm just saying, you don't believe this. Ray Azevedo is telling this. So I'm telling you this so you get it through your head that these things are dangerous.
I guess. All right. Man, wow.
Our customers saw this coming and asked us to develop a ready-now counter-drone capability. And thank God, Roy Azevedo, president of Raytheon Space and Airborne Systems, was on the ball. Otherwise, we'd be getting bombed by drones everywhere. Counter-drone efforts, won't be limited to F.E. Warren for long. The Air Force and other military branches are examining wider efforts to protect bases from drones in Colorado Springs bases, including Schriever Air Force Base and Peterson Air Force Base, where airmen control the nation's constellation of military satellites, would be high on the Pentagon's counter-drone priority list. Whew. Thank God for the military. That's all I got to say. They've got this problem under control. They're just going to blast the things out of the sky with one of them gosh darn lasers.
I don't believe it. I think that's going to cause this. We're not the empire and the republic here. I think the misuse of lasers is going to be even scarier. And then what if the drones learn how to take out the laser contraptions and fix them to themselves, and now they're weaponized, Tim? Huh? What about it, Tim? I ask because when that happens, I'm going to Canada, and that's the way I'll be saying a boot from now on.
Don't say it like that.
All right. So there's one kind of AI story. Why are you saying this is your nightmare edition, Tim?
Dave.
What?
It won't go away. You people don't learn your lesson. You're all like, oh, my phone. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, I'm so dependent on technology because it just does everything for me. Well, guess what? It's stealing your face.
What? Did what?
It's stealing your face.
What?
Robots are stealing your face. I don't know how much more plain I can put it.
I think I walk around in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and you're right. There's a lot of bald guys with goatees and black glasses. Maybe they are. They're just cheap knockoffs, ill-formed on the faces of other robots to look like me. Huh.
Robots are stealing your face, Dave.
What if it turns out I'm a robot of Rick from Pawn Stars with an ill-fitting face? So I look similar but not exact.
No, I'm not talking people just look like you. I'm talking robots are stealing your face.
Right. That's because I'm saying these are robots wearing my face. Or what if I'm the robot wearing his face? And I've infiltrated your world to eventually take you out with my AI brain. All right. I guess not.
Where's my gun? Where'd they put it?
So what's going on? How are they stealing faces?
Hold on. I got to find my gun.
Pumping your gun?
No, I got to find my gun.
Oh.
I had it in the closet here in the studio. Pretty sure I did. I have my 8-ball cane right over in the corner, though. If you come too close, I'm going to stab you.
Wow.
Okay. So, just saying. Okay, so here's the Here's the story. It's difficult to, first of all, you can license your face for a mass-produced robot for $129,000. There can be whole lot of you walking around on a robot.
Wait, I get paid $129,000 to let them use my face?
No, you pay them, I think, $129,000.
Oh, I don't think so, buddy. Read the article. Let's find out.
All right. It's difficult to define the concept of waking nightmare, and this is a waking nightmare, but letting a company slap your face like a silicone flapjack on mass-produced robots that will be used in countless people's homes sounds like a pretty good example of it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Although, if for some reason that situation doesn't seem like the most Twilight Zone-esque development ever, there is now a slim possibility of making it a reality. Oh, I guess you do get paid for it. $129,000 to have
Sign us up. Sign me up.
Your vain little face all over robots that are in people's homes.
Bunch of good-looking arched eyebrow robots. That's what they're going to end up with.
According to an October 11th blog post by Geomic, the London-based data-driven manufacturing platform is looking for a person who is willing to offer up their face to be used for a kind and friendly one that will be applied to, well, that's not you then, kind and friendly one that will be applied to the head of a state-of-the-art humanoid robot. It's
you
helping
mean to tell
build.
me when you see my face, you don't think kind and friendly?
Well, not to poodles, no. And there's bound to be poodles in these homes, Dave. Yeah.
I would hope not.
Well, just saying.
Something wrong with me. Anywho, all right, go on.
Geomic's blog post, in essence, says this. Actually, there's a little thing on the old Twitter. I almost called it something else. A robotics company is looking for a human face to be the face of their new robot. And the public appeal is that applicants are needing to find the perfect face. I don't know what that perfect face is.
Right here, looking at it right across the board from you. What's wrong with it? Look at it. Perfectly symmetrical.
Is it, though?
It is.
Is it?
Wow.
I'm just...
Now you got me looking in the mirror. I questioned my own self, Tim. I thought we were pals. Why would you make me question my handsomeness?
I'm just saying, this is for a robot, Dave. Think about it. Think about it, buddy. I want to now. I would never volunteer my face for a robot.
All right.
I have a doughy face that people want to punch. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna deny it.
So I would never. I mean, people would be punching the robot all over the house.
That sounds dirty the way you said it.
Does it?
Punching the robot, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Geomic's blog post says, in essence, that it has been approached by a robotics company, which itself is being funded by, quote, a number of independent VCs. Oh, that sounds like a gang. As well as a top fund based in Shanghai, which can't be good, asking for help with the finishing touches on its latest humanoid bot, which we're guessing is not as cool as whatever this one is. I don't know. That's one they're pointing you to. One of those finishing touches is apparently the robot's face, and now Geomic has taken to the internet to find somebody who can offer up their pleasant mug as its basis for design. Although Geomic only gives vague details regarding the utility function and specs for the line of robots, thanks to the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, it signed with the client company. It does note in its call for many faces that the robot's purpose will be to act as a virtual friend for elderly people.
Oh,
and is set to go into production next year.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. See?
You know what that means, Dave?
Friends too, buddy. What?
You're going to be wiping a lot of asses.
I'm not. Thankfully, I think there's a robot coming out that'll be able to help with that.
Your face is going to be in a lot of diapers, a lot of adult diapers.
What?
And going to be.
I didn't agree to make my face a diaper, Tim. I agreed to let him put it on a robot.
Well, then it's also going to be feeding a lot of applesauce and playing a lot of cribbage.
Canasta, maybe.
Not cribbage. I think cribbage.
Oh, well, fine. All right. Yeah.
Geomic says that the candidates who make it through the next phase will be provided with more details on the project, but that people who don't make it won't be contacted at all. That's right. You'll be ghosted. Congratulations. Another aspect of your life, because that's how AI works. One day they're in your life and they love you. The next, boom, they're gone.
Ooh.
Maybe one day the company will have a robot that can make those calls for it via video chat face-to-face. But until then, you're ghosted. What do you think of licensing your face to a robotics company for roughly $129,000? Does that sound like a good deal? Or
sign me up. I'm still up for it. It sounds like I could use the money. I know that for sure.
Well, but it's only a one-time deal, my friend. And then your face
I only need it one time. Dude, I will be 100,000 That is exactly 100,000 more than I have right now.
I think they got to give me a little more than $129,000 to use my face for all of eternity.
All right.
Just saying. Especially on AI. Just saying. Oh, Dave. Dave.
What? There's more, Tim?
There's more.
More, ye say?
Oh, Dave.
What, Tim?
These things are evil.
What's going on? What have you got for me?
You know, intern Yoko has one of these.
Okay.
They're evil. Named it John Connor, by the way. Just for an
really?
ironic sense of humor. Roomba. You have one of these Roombas?
I took some classes to Roomba, and I could never get
that's Roomba, my friend. That's Roomba.
No, Roomba. I would wear a plastic hoop around myself and walk around sweeping the floor. I was trying to become a home Roomba.
Yeah.
It was the first beta version of the actual Roomba you know now, Tim.
I only have a small bit of hope for humanity with AI because these Roombas are dumb as a box of rocks. They really are. Can
you keep it down? My Roomba's right there.
Yeah,
you can hear.
They are.
Jim,
I could take a 2-year-old kid, give him a vacuum, and they do a better job than a Roomba.
First of all, I don't think you should take anybody's 2-year-old kid, Tim. That sounds like a bad plan.
Well, I pay him and I feed him fruit roll-ups.
Oh, that comes out sounding even worse. I wouldn't.
I give him a $5, so some fruit roll-ups for energy and some soda. You get them all sugared up and hand him a vacuum and say, just make lines in the carpet.
Maybe.
That's how I vacuum now because the kid does a better job than the Roomba.
Wow.
Roombas are just stupid. They're the stupidest invention ever.
Jeez.
They don't do anything.
You know what? Don't hold back. How do you really feel, pal?
Oh, Roombas are terrible. They're terrible.
Oh, my God. Terrible. It seems...
You pay $500 for something that randomly puts lines in your carpet. Doesn't even vacuum. Doesn't even...
Well, you are a bitter... Sorry, folks, that you have to see a bitter, mad side of Tim. This is the audio of his front porch shaking his fist as kids cross his yard. It's what we're all witnessing. But glad we're doing it together. Shh, let's go back and see him in his natural habitat. I'm sorry, Tim. What was the rest of the story?
Oh, it's horrible. Well, the Roomba maker now is now developing a robot with arms that may do the dishes. So it'll do every other dish and take barely anything off the plate.
What?
Yeah.
Sign me up. A robot that'll vacuum and do my dishes?
Yeah, but it'll barely do the dish.
I'll do it. I'll sign up. And maybe I can even have my face. That would be the best of all worlds.
If the Roomba does dishes like it does the floor, that's all right. It can stay at the store. Just saying. iRobot won't be selling this
advertising from iRobot.
Well, unless they want to send me a free one so I can test it, but I think it'll probably test like the Roomba. I'm sure. iRobot won't start selling the new device for at least 5 years. Thank God. That's all we need is something breaking our dishes. A company developed the technology for former military business. I can't imagine it worked there either. iRobot Corp, maker of the disc-shaped Roomba robotic vacuum cleaner, said it's working on a household helper that will have arms that could load dishes, pick up clothes, or bring food from the kitchen to the table. You know what happens with a robot that has arms, Dave?
Yeah, massage. We could play cards together. See, I'm just seeing the positives. I don't know what your issue is.
It will strangle you in your sleep.
Wow, that went dark quick.
How come you don't think forward to this stuff, Dave? What will happen is this little AI will start doing your chores for you. And then sooner or later, it'll gain sentience. And it'll start to think, why doesn't this little lazy guy over here do his own stuff? Why do I have to do it for him? And
that sounds a lot like my wife, I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, see, there you go. It'll take on your wife's characteristics. And then all of a sudden it'll be like, the little guy over there doesn't appreciate me for what I do around here. And then all of a sudden it starts gaining a temper. See? Huh. And then it starts gaining a temper. And then you know what happens, Dave? All of a sudden you're taking a little nap, a little snooze on a Saturday afternoon. Nice little Saturday afternoon, nice little spring breeze coming in through the window.
You sound insane. You should know that. No. Insane.
This is perfectly logical. You're taking a nice little siesta on a spring afternoon, and then all of a sudden you feel a little light pressure on your head, and you know what it is? It's your pillow, Dave! It's your pillow over your face!
Folks, he needs help. Just pray for Tim. There's something wrong. He's not, he ain't right.
And you know what's doing it, Dave? It's your brand new iRobot dishwasher, Dave, that you had to have because you couldn't do a dish.
I'm just saying, my birthday's coming up in November. It'd be a great little gift for me, Timmy.
If I want to host the show full time, sure.
Wow.
Just saying, hey, you wanted it. You want it because you didn't want to do a dish, buddy. Hey, if you want it, I'll buy it for you, sure.
Sure. Sign me up. Although I am a little bit worried that if this is willing to do dishes and mop the floor and has hands, my wife won't need me anymore.
Yeah, that's true. See, there's a downside. I'll read the rest of the story here. You decide whether you want it or not.
Okay.
So it's a household helper that will have arms that could load dishes, pick up clothes, or bring food from kitchen to table. The Bedford.
So far, I'm in.
Yeah. The Bedford, Massachusetts-based company won't start selling such a product for at least 5 years, so you have time to be useful. Just saying. But prototypes of the arms exist inside its research and development labs. Chief Executive Officer Colin Angle said in an interview on the sidelines of the CES Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, iRobot's main new hardware launch for 2020 will be its Terra lawnmower. Oh, I would say it's not Terra. It's terror, Dave.
Life just keeps getting better at the Schrader household the more they create something that'll mow my lawn, do my dishes, vacuum my carpet, please my wife. What more could I ask for, Tim?
You want something automatic that'll please your wife?
I'm getting older.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm getting older, Tim.
A terror lawnmower just sounds horrific. I just see this thing running over your fence and chewing up small children. I don't think that this is a good idea at all.
Damn it. You are a poo-pooer of fun.
I just see killing machines everywhere. Killing machines everywhere!
Oh, God, we have more stories to get to. Where are we going next? Let's clear out our palate.
Let me finish
new
this
kind of story.
Let me finish.
Holy God, there's more?
iRobot previously developed robotic arm technology for its military unit, Dave. Military unit. This is the important part. The company sold that business in 2016 so we could tear apart our enemies, but then kept the arm assets. At the time, the company didn't know how to adapt the technology for mainstream use, mainly because they had been using it to tear apart enemies, Engel said. But new advancements in computer vision and the ability for robots to map out a person's home make such devices possible. Other technology companies are also working on home robots, including Amazon.com, Incorporated, and Samsung Electronics, but so far they are focusing on devices with video conferencing and voice assistance rather than the ability to actually conduct physical tasks. The trade war between the U.S. and China could put a damper on iRobot's ambitions in the near term. Engel said it's had a negative impact on business. We're having to scale back R&D and profitability targets, he said. The company started shipping its lower-cost Roomba vacuum cleaner robots out of Malaysia instead of China in November. There you go.
All right. Well, at least, okay, we've got those out of the way. It can only get better from here, Tim. What's our next story?
It doesn't get better, Dave.
What?
It doesn't get better.
Okay.
It doesn't get better. Dave, you remember we did a story not too long ago about AI writing scripts for movies and how ridiculous it was. It just, nothing made sense.
Sure.
Well, now Warner Brothers has had the brilliant idea of doing an AI-driven film management system, having AI decide which project management. I don't know. They want AI to decide which movies come out. I guess I don't know.
That might make more sense, truthfully, because the people, the great minds in Hollywood are not doing fantastic unless it's got Marvel attached to it.
But it's Warner Brothers, Dave. I mean,
yeah. Are they getting all their parts from Acme?
I guess
that might be the problem.
That might be.
Yeah.
The studio has made a pact with Synalytic to use its project management system that was launched last year. Resistance is futile, Dave. Futile. Warner Brothers has become the latest studio to publicly embrace artificial intelligence. Oh, people, you don't learn. The movie division has signed a deal with Synalytic to use the latter's AI-driven project management system that was launched last year. Under the new deal, Warner's will leverage the system's comprehensive data and predictive analytics to guide decision-making at the greenlight stage. The integrated online platform can assess the value of a star in any territory and how much a film is expected to make in theaters and on other ancillary streams. Founded 4 years ago by Tobias Quaiser, I believe his name is, Synalytic has been building and beta testing the platform for 3 years. In 2018, the company raised $2.25 million from TMB Media Global and signed deals with Ingenious Media and Productivity Media, STX, which endured a number of flops in 2019, including Playmobil and Ugly Dolls, and became a Synalytic client in September. While the platform won't necessarily predict what will be the next $1 billion surprise, like Warner's hit Joker, which was kind of a slam dunk, let's admit it, it will reduce the amount of time executives spend on low-value repetitive tasks and instead give them better dollar figure parameters for packaging, marketing, and distribution decisions, including release dates. The platform is particularly helpful in the festival setting, where studios get caught in bidding wars and plunk down massive sums after only hours of assessment, as happens with New Line's $15 million acquisition of Blinded by the Light out of last year's Sundance Film Festival. The Synalytic AI's insight might also have altered decision-making on some of Warner's misfires from 2019, such as The Kitchen, Shaft, and I'm sorry, Dave, Godzilla's King of the Monsters.
What?
Yes.
Shut down AI. It's evil. How dare it try to take away Godzilla movies?
Oh, now you say that.
Now it makes sense. It's trying to shut down Godzilla. And I really liked the last Shaft movie. I got to be honest with you. I thought it was a well-done, fun movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's a great flick.
But see, now AI is going to shut that down.
Son of a bitch.
Yep, that's why AI is evil. The system can calculate in seconds what used to take days to assess by a human when it comes to general film package evaluation or a star's worth, says Quaiser. Adds Tony Keys, I believe, Senior VP Distribution. We make a tough decision every day that affects what and how we produce and deliver films to theaters around the world. And the more precise our data is, the better we will be able to engage our audience. Still, Hollywood fancies itself as a town that operates on gut instinct rather than algorithms, for better or for worse. And unlike Silicon Valley, the industry has been slow to use AI for more menial tasks like script breakdowns, fearful that it will take away jobs and make humans obsolete. Quaiser counters that narrative. Artificial intelligence sounds scary. No, really? But right now, an AI cannot make any creative decisions, said Quaiser. What it is good at is crunching numbers and breaking down huge data sets and showing patterns that would not be visible to humans. But for creative decision-making, you still need experience and gut instinct.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see. Maybe the algorithms would be right. It would come up with better, more inventive ideas in films and shut down some bad ones. However, not Godzilla. Knock it off. AI, stop being a dick.
It's going to take away Godzilla. Just based on dollars.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Disrespectful.
Just saying.
Disrespectful. All right. Well, it's got to be getting better from here. What else have you got for us?
Are you talking the other story?
Well, you're the supernatural news guy, and you're doing supernatural news. So yeah. What other stories do you have for us?
Well, I've got other stuff other than AI, but
there's more AI.
There's one more.
Oh my God, this is a nightmare day for you. All right, Tim, our final AI story of the day. What is it?
I don't want to say, Dave.
Say it, Tim.
I don't want to say.
Tim, the people have spoken. I'm seeing a show of hands. Yes, they want their AI stories, Tim.
I fear this one, Dave.
What?
I fear this one. There are moments. There are good moments, bad moments. There are happy moments, sad moments. Then there are intimate moments, Dave. There are moments where you just shouldn't have AI around. And Charmin has crossed that line.
Really? Charmin, of all people.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 words I never want to hear, Dave, and yes, my voice is cracking as I say it. Toilet paper robot.
Oh, God, it sounds better already. Life is getting better by the minute. If I can get a toilet paper robot, Tim, I might go along with allowing AI to pick my movies for me.
They're calling it a rollbot, Dave.
A rollbot, yes. Sign me up.
What if it goes to hand you a roll and accidentally misses and pierces your sphincter? That's what I'm saying, Dave.
What the?
I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
Gonna put the roll in your butt? Can't it just hand it to you?
What if it misses, Dave? What if it wants to be more full service? What if it exceeds its programming? What if it tries to wipe for you and punctures your sphincter?
My God, folks, you're getting an insight into a man that I thought I knew. 32 years friendship, and I'm just realizing how crazy he really is.
This is real life stuff, Dave.
It's something, all right.
Again, we go to the Consumer Electronics Show where evil has reared its ugly, ugly head.
Okay. I don't know. Have you ever been in a bathroom and realized, nerds, there's no more toilet paper. And you call out, hey! Can somebody spare a square?
I just knock on the stall.
Nobody ever shows up. Nobody comes by. Nobody brings me toilet paper, Tim. And then it's, there's so many things that go through your head. You're like, first of all, why didn't I notice? Second of all, what can I do? Third of all, should I just lock the door and, plan on staying there for the rest of my life?
There's an easy solution to this, Dave.
There is. I want to hear it.
You're going to laugh.
Oh, you know what it is? Toilet paper delivering robots. Thank you, technology.
No, you don't. No? You don't trust others in this situation, Dave. I'm gonna break this down in a way you may think is weird, but I think moms around the country will back me up here. Moms around the country carry if they have children, they either have a diaper bag or they have a bigger bag that they carry with them for emergencies. And in that bag, they have sometimes they have wet wipes for the kids. Sometimes they may have a roll of toilet paper with them or something similar. I have with me, Dave, I have a backpack that I carry. It has my drugs in it, and I'm not talking like, woo, get high, woo, drugs. I'm talking my medicines, my multiple medications. It has headphones in it, because, I go do gigs, like radio stations like KNSI. It has, you're going to laugh, Dave, when I tell you this. And listeners around the country, around the world may laugh when I tell you this. It's got a spare roll of Charmin toilet paper and some wipes in it.
Why would they laugh about that? That seems plausible.
And the reason it has that, Dave.
And by the way, folks, if you're going to France, carry an extra roll of toilet paper with you. They don't like toilet paper in their public restrooms.
That's exactly why I carry it. Now, the other reason,
in case you wake up and find yourself in France because of some kind of AI hijacking.
Yes, okay. Yes, you got it. And the other reason I bring Charmin in particular is because you gotta take care of your starfish, Dave. And
one step over the line, sweet
no.
Jesus.
Hear me out.
Step over the line.
Hear me out. Most public restroom toilet paper too rough. It's like 80 grit sandpaper. You got to take care of it. You got to take care of the old starfish. So you got to be kind. You got to be gentle. You got to be cruel to be kind.
Why are you against? I'm still not sure I understand why you're against a robot that'll bring you toilet paper when you're out. This is for when you're out and you don't have that extra roll.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli, Dave.
Is that the byproduct of this whole story? Leave the gun, take the cannoli?
Godfather, Dave. The Godfather.
Okay.
Think about it. I got
nothing.
It's the old adage, leave the gun, take the cannoli. The fact that you think you're sitting down to a meeting with a friend, you're not. You're sitting down with an enemy. That toilet paper robot is not your friend. It's your enemy. It's coming.
I'd like to just put this message out to all toilet paper robots out there. Tim is only speaking for himself. If you bring me a roll of toilet paper in my moment of need, I thank you. I personally thank you.
It's a Trojan horse, Dave. It's a Trojan horse. You think that it's walking in with what you need. You think it's walking in with a gift. And before you know it, bam, pokes you right in the sphincter, and you're laying there bleeding and dying.
Paranoia is a hell of a thing, kids. This is why you should avoid drugs. Let's go back to Tim's mind now. All right, Tim.
Let's get to the story, and I'll explain to you how they're going to kill us.
There's still a story? Okay.
Yes, there is. This is how they're going to kill us all, Dave. This is how they're going to kill us all.
I'm listening.
At the Consumer Electronics Show, Charmin debuted a two-wheeled robot that can fetch you a fresh roll when you run out. We've all been there. We're sitting on the pot, look to your left, you look to your right, you realize that the toilet paper roll is empty and there's not a spare in sight, right? Dave described that quite eloquently.
It's happened from time to time, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Charmin wants to solve that familiar problem. At this week's Consumer Electronics Show, it introduced the Charmin Rollbot. Clever. A two-wheeled robot that can fetch a fresh roll and steal your soul at the same time. Out of toilet paper, no one hears you cry for help. And no one will hear you scream either, Dave. Just saying. You fire it up with an app on your smartphone. See? Integrated with AI. The Charmin Rollbot will come to your rescue, said Greg Weaver, a research and development staff member for Charmin. The robot, around 6 inches tall, has the face of a bear. That's how they get you, Dave. They suck you in with the face of a bear.
Oh, it's so cute.
Like the cartoon ones in Charmin's commercials. And the toilet paper is sitting on top of the bear, by the way. Weaver said the problem of the empty paper roll is a common issue consumers bring up during product Q&As. They will bring to light these real-world problems, and the biggest one being, nobody in my family changes the roll, said Weaver. But if this new tech has you so excited that you have to pee, calm down. It won't be available anytime soon. Procter & Gamble, the company that owns Charmin, says the robot won't be for sale. It was just an example of what's possible. Good. Another piece of bathroom-related tech at CES is the D-Free B1. It's a wearable that claims to be able to give you advanced warning before you have to go number 2.
I could use that. The older I get, I could use advanced warning.
Engadget reports it could be helpful to people with inflammatory bowel disease, irritable bowel syndrome, and similar issues. I'm curious as to how that works, but it doesn't explain any more. Interesting, though. But yeah, the rollbots, Dave, I'm just saying it's setting us up for being vulnerable at our most vulnerable times and then killing us. There you go.
Wow. Let's cleanse the palate. We're going to shut down, take a quick break, give Tim a chance to shake off his fear of AI and see what else we have to share on today's program. You're listening to the best in paranormal and IA talk radio. IA? Tim?
IA, Iowa.
Yeah, maybe I meant AI. Sorry, I'm dyslexic when it comes to AI. This is the best in paranormal and AI talk radio I'm Dave Schrader. That is the fearful Tim Dennis. We'll be back with more Beyond the Darkness. If you're looking for a fun way to pass the time while engaging your brain and enjoying breathtaking visuals and a gripping story, your answer is Best Fiends. This is one of my all-time favorite games. It is a casual game I take with me on the road when I'm bored at home. Those few instances when I get 5, 10, 15 minutes to myself, Tim, and I don't want to think. I don't want to pressure myself. I don't want to worry about the news that's on TV. All I want to do is have some fun, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Best Fiends is a casual game that anyone can play, although it is kind of made for adults. You can spend as much or as little time as you'd like in this game. It's a lot of fun, great levels, so much cool stuff to do. I said I shut down the brain. I don't shut it down completely because this is a game that's filled with puzzles and really, get your mind thinking in a positive way. Plus, it's brightly colored, great character development, different puzzles to consider all the time. And like I said, I'll play this game. Some days I play it for 5-10 minutes. Other days I find myself just a little bit extra time to kill, whether I'm sitting around waiting for a doctor's appointment or unable to sleep at night. I pop on Best Fiends and I have a blast. Plus, I love seeing so many of you that are also playing the game, friends of mine on Facebook, as we pass one another on these always shifting, moving levels. My fun is always in watching Tim fall behind me, far behind me, as I show him that I'm truly the Best Fiends champion in this show.
What?
Well, I do get ahead of you quite often. Of course, I wake up the next morning and he's 20 steps ahead of me, but that's nonetheless, I catch right back up, folks. Just shows you how good I am. Bright colors, great visual design and style, and the characters themselves are great. That's why this is a 5-star rated game. Great characters, challenging fun puzzles, everything you could possibly want. All right? All of the characters are bugs, well, most of them anyway, and the antagonists are slugs. And we all have those slugs in our life, Tim, that irritate us. You can kind of project the image of those slugs from your work or home onto these beings as you destroy them and move through. It's kind of a nice little motivating factor in the game, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
It's unique, it's exciting, and it's a great puzzle experience. Unlike any other puzzle games out there, Best Fiends updates the game as well monthly, so there's always new levels and events. It never gets old. And Best Fiends treats the game like a service for their players. If you find yourself looking to kill a little bit of time and you want something fun to engage your mind, check out Best Fiends. It does not require the internet to play. It's great for traveling. You can play it anywhere. Planes, subway, trains, cars, bathrooms, waiting for your toilet paper delivering Roomba to bring you your toilet paper roll, Tim. You've got this. You've got Best Fiends to keep you company. So engage your brain with fun puzzles, collect tons of really cute characters, and trust me, with over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must play. And you'll be able to play along with Tim and I. As a matter of fact, let us know. Get a good screen cap when you see us and you're passing us. Screen cap that you just passed us by and then post it on our social media. You can taunt us a little bit. I'm okay with that. I'm secure enough in my Best Fiends manhood that I don't mind being challenged by you, our friends and followers around the world. That's Best Fiends. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
If you love true crime podcasts, Podcast One is a perfect destination. We've got 2 awesome true crime podcasts trending right now, and you have to check them out. First up, based on the iconic series on A&E, Cold Case Files explores some of the most difficult-to-solve murders, which stymied investigators and went cold, sometimes for decades. Next up, Copycat Killers is the latest podcast from Reels and Podcast One. Every episode takes you behind the scenes of real-life murder cases which copy memorable slayings seen in Hollywood movies. Check out both Cold Case Files and Copycat Killers. They're going to be your next favorite true crime podcasts. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Podcast One, and many of your favorite podcast listening apps.
All the curtain lights. This is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every part by heart. Overture, curtain lights. This is it. We'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show. This is it.
Beyond the darkness.
Tonight, what heights we'll hit. On with the show. This is it.
Overture, curtain lights. Hey, this is it, Tim, the night of nights. No more rehearsing or nursing a part. We know every part by heart. It's a little Looney Tunes for our friends that remember. I used to wake up to that every Saturday morning, Tim.
Me too. Yeah.
Right, little Bugs and Daffy in their tuxedos. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we're here. The show is here. We've got a great show lined up for you. How about a couple of interesting stories regarding celebrities, Tim? Keanu Reeves claims to have had a ghostly encounter when he was a child, but he's not the only one in Hollywood that has had a brush with the paranormal, Tim. Oh, you'd like to think he is, but he's not. Keanu Reeves revealed that he had an encounter with a ghost when he was young. However, his story kind of bizarre. According to Insider, Keanu was about 6 or 7 years old when he was visiting New York. His paranormal incident sounded like something out of the Invisible Man movies. Apparently, the actor and his family watched in disbelief when an empty jacket appeared in their doorway of the place they were staying. What made it particularly scary is that the apparition didn't have arms, legs, head, or a torso. Reeves just remembers that he thought it was cool, but he could see his nanny was absolutely terrified. Then he knew what he saw was a real paranormal event. How about that?
Whoa.
Emma Stone, lovely and talented Emma Stone, is her story is a little bit more comforting. When she appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman 6 years ago, Tim, the actress recounted a story about her grandfather haunting her. Now, the Stones have a family tradition that centers around coins, quarters in particular, Tim. Acknowledging that she has always believed in the metaphysical, Emma stated that things had a way of materializing around her. She believes that her grandfather left quarters for her to find in the past. Now, Stone had never met him, but she knows that it is him leaving her the coinage. While she doesn't get into the specific details, she's adamant in her belief that it is truly him, Tim. I've got a story that's all right. Are you ready for this one?
Ready.
In an article on the Odyssey Online, Matthew McConaughey became a believer in the supernatural realm when he shared a house with an entity called Madame Bleu. She wasn't willing to share space with the actor and seemed unhappy with having to deal with him. Sounds like a lot of the living I know too, Tim. There was a particular room that she frequented, and whenever McConaughey would have friends come over, they could feel her presence, so no one wanted to stay there. The actor said that he stood his ground and told the ghost that she could walk around, but he wasn't going to leave. He nakedly sat there getting high playing his bongos, Tim. Yeah. After a bit, the activity subsided, and it turns out that he and Madame Blue were able to coexist.
Aw.
How about groovy Bruce Campbell, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the star of the supernatural trilogy of Evil Dead movies. He also is a believer in UFOs. While guesting on the Oddity Files podcast, our good friend Kitsy, the actor revealed to host Kitsy Duncan that he had an encounter with a UAP. That's the new way of saying UFO, Tim.
Is it?
Unidentified aerial phenomena. Do-do-do-do-do. While he was doing a phone interview, he noticed a white orb hovering over the mountains from his office window. Campbell felt that the object had to have some sort of heat diffusion going on because it was waxing and waning. At the same time he was observing the UFO, the lights behind him in the foyer began to dim. He turned around to see what was happening with them, and by the time he faced the window again, the craft, Tim, was gone. So let me throw this to you.
Okay.
Tim, he's looking out a window.
Yep.
He sees a white orb hovering over the mountains from his office window. At the same time, and he said it was waxing and waning, which means it's kind of brightening and dimming, right? At the same time, he notices that the lights behind him in the foyer were dimming and brightening.
Okay.
And dimming and brightening. I think he might have been seeing the reflection of the light behind him on the window, Tim.
That's what I would think.
I'm not putting Bruce Campbell down. He knows his stuff, Tim. But that sounds. He's very elusive in his stories. Yeah. I would think maybe he was pulling the leg of our dear friend Kitsy, but who knows? Like Bruce Campbell, though, Robert Englund, Tim. Englund, I don't know, I had trouble saying his last name. Robert Englund also believes that the truth is out there. In an interview with the Oddity Files and our friend Kitsy, Englund talked about his father's friend, who was a full bird colonel in the Air Force. He saw a UFO at the time. Robert's father was working for Lockheed Aircraft as an executive. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Normus Reedus or Norman Reedus, Tim?
Him too.
Yeah, the actor was haunted by the ghost of a composer in his apartment in Prague while filming a movie. Kate Hudson, she can feel spirits, and her mother Goldie Hawn can as well. Jessica Chastain, when she was filming a movie in London, the house she was staying in had a spirit who would turn lights on and off. Dan Aykroyd, of course, we've talked about, descended from mediums. He's always been keenly interested in the otherworldly, and Dan claims a ghost crawled into bed with him at one time. Megan Fox. Megan is now a believer in UFOs, Bigfoot, and all things paranormal. When she was visiting Mexico with her family, she felt the presence of a ghost who made quite a bit of noise. No one else was in the hotel room with the actress. Oh, my God. With the actress, Tim?
With the actress.
With the actress at the time.
At the
I don't
time.
know why my tongue's not working with me here.
That's what she said.
What? Why would she say that? Now I'm paranoid. Did she really say that?
Well, a little bit to me, but no one else. Yeah.
Bitch. Wait, who? Who's she?
No, I can't say. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm going to be thinking about that. Well, while I'm thinking about that, why don't you share with us our next supernatural news story?
Okay, we go to London, where it turns out that invisible aliens may be on Earth right now. This according to an astronaut. Britain's first astronaut thinks aliens exist. And she says they could be already living among us, but we can't see them. Like John Cena, evidently.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Helen Sharman, not the Sharman from the toilet paper story from the last segment, but, is a chemist who currently works at the Imperial College in London. Before that, her claim to fame was becoming the first Brit in space. She visited the Soviet Union's Mir space station in 1991. In an interview with The Observer, the 56-year-old said without reservation that aliens exist because there are billions of stars in the universe. Now you have me doing it. Most
up in the universe.
Most of which have planets orbiting them. She says an alien could even be sitting next to you right now.
Nope, I don't see one. Might be invisible. I don't know.
Maybe.
I swung my arm out. You saw me. I didn't hit anything.
No, I guess not. Will they be like you and me, made up of carbon and nitrogen? Maybe not. It's possible they're here right now and we simply can't see them, Sharman said. Sharman also said most people seem to assume Britain's first astronaut was a man. She often has to correct them. A man going first would be the norm, so I'm thrilled that I got to upset that order, she went on to say. So there you go.
Okay. All right, what else have you got for us in the world of supernatural news?
Well, an Australian couple claimed that they had a close encounter with aliens after spotting a lightning-fast cigar-shaped UFO following their car. An Australian couple claimed they saw a cigar-shaped alien craft with no wings or tail flying near their car at lightning speeds. The husband and wife, who wished to remain anonymous, were driving along the Bruce Highway towards Rockhampton in Queensland just after 4 p.m. on December 4th when they saw the mysterious airborne object. We were following the road, veering slightly left as the object turned slight right to come along parallel to us at the same speed, about 100 kilometers an hour, they said. The object made no sound and had no trail nor haze behind it. As we progressed for about 10 seconds, the trees cleared for a clear, close view of the object for another 10 seconds, they went on to say. The woman said the UFO had no wings or tail section. Her husband claimed he saw 4 white rings of ionization around the silver metal fuselage as it accelerated past. We watched it accelerate for about 5 seconds until it had disappeared into the distance, they continued. It traveled into a direct straight line about 25 degrees upward, almost parallel to us, and it looked like it went into space. They also said it made no sonic booms and accelerated to a speed far exceeding any conventional technology. They described it as a cigar-shaped fuselage with no wings or tail that was the diameter of a small jet and the length of two buses. UFO Research Queensland Incorporated President Cheryl Gottschall told the Morning Bulletin that there have been many cigar-shaped UFO sightings over the years, but discs and triangles have been reported more recently. She also said cigar-shaped vessels are thought to be motherships among UFO researchers. So there you go.
Motherships. Very nice. Wow, so we're heavily laden in AI and aliens this week.
Yeah, we are.
All right, what else have you got for me?
Well, we'll switch gears a little bit and talk about Uri Geller, who says his paranormal abilities can help secure post-Brexit trade deals.
Really?
Yeah, evidently.
All right.
Uri Geller is now reaching into the world of politics a bit, I guess. That was hard to say, too. I went a bit Porky Pig there. Spoon-bending psychic Uri Geller believes his paranormal abilities could help the UK government secure post-Brexit trade deals with the U.S. and European Union. The 73-year-old illusionist has put his name forward for a role in Boris Johnson's administration following a call for weirdos to apply for jobs in Downing Street. He told the PA news agency that his psychic powers and telepathic abilities, as well as his charisma, chutzpah, and contacts, would ensure the UK reaches a deal by the end of 2020. Geller said there was no doubt in my mind that he would be able to help the government if he was given a role at number 10. The quote here is, I believe I can also negotiate with Iran and get the peace agreements much faster than anyone else can do. With my energies, with my mind power, with my know-how, with my connections to world leaders, I can definitely help with the Brexit negotiations, he said. Speaking from Old Jaffa in Israel, he said he did not know what my name... He did not know what name they would give his role if he was successful, but that he sees himself as an international ambassador to the British Prime Minister. Geller also claimed his credentials could help solve the crisis in the Persian Gulf, saying he could bring about a nuclear deal that both Iran and U.S. could agree to. I believe I can also negotiate with Iran and get the peace agreements much faster than anyone else can do, he said. However, I'm not commenting on whether I have begun to do that or I haven't, but I know exactly what is going on and I'm in touch with the right individuals. Geller claimed his work with intelligence agencies meant that he would have the required security clearance for jobs in number 10. He cited his negotiating experience, including his claims that he helped the U.S. secure a nuclear arms reduction treaty with Russia and assisted the Israeli and Palestinian Red Cross organizations in gaining recognition as reasons why he would be good for the role. The Prime Minister's key advisor, Dominic Cummings, posted an apparent job advert last week saying number 10 wants to hire an unusual set of people with different skills and backgrounds to work as special advisors and potentially officials. He called for weirdos and misfits with odd skills, data scientists and policy experts to apply for a Gmail account, if they think they fit the bill. When I saw the very strange words that Dom came out with, that they were hiring data scientists, project managers, policy experts, and assorted weirdos, I thought to myself, wow, what a bizarre word to use, Geller said. But in the last 50 years, I've been called everything under the sun, from paranormalist to a miracle worker to a magician and a weirdo. So I thought, now I think I can really help Boris's administration because I know I'm now boasting a bit, but I have a very, very impressive track record. I've done amazing negotiations for major countries, he went on to say. Geller said he had not yet heard back from Mr. Cummings after putting in the application, but he believes that it is being considered seriously. He said he was confident of being brought into the team, but acknowledged he is a very controversial figure and that there are many other sources involved in the selection process. Geller was against Brexit, but said he wanted Mr. Johnson to win rather than Jeremy Corbyn, at last month's general election. He said he gave the PM's aides on a visit to Israel a spoon which he believes was given to Mr. Johnson and helped him win. Told him, give this to Boris. This is going to bring him good luck, and no doubt he will win a landslide against Corbyn. And I was right. It happened. Whether Boris had the spoon on him or on his desk, there's no doubt in my mind they delivered the spoon to him. So there you go.
Kooky. All right. You know what, Tim? We are in the thick of playoffs and further along than I thought we'd be with our Minnesota Vikings.
Boy, are we ever.
So let's chat about that, shall we? It's time again for our betonline.ag look at the weekend playoff spots, Tim. And I got to know what you got for us, what you know, what you think you know, because we've been working with betonline.ag all season. It's a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun. We've made a few bucks, I'm not going to lie, and I hope you've been playing along with us and making some money on the side. Tim, you've got our picks for the week.
I do. You know what, Dave? It's interesting.
The picks are fewer, folks. Fewer picks because we're coming into the end.
We're coming into the end. We are at the final 8 teams of this deal. And I'll tell you, the fact that the Vikings are in those final 8 shocks me. See
what happens with them, though. You know what? I took the San Francisco 49ers over the Vikings this week in a bet with my dad because every time I bet on the Vikings, I bring them bad luck. So I've decided to go the other way.
That's not a bad pick. And I tend to do the same thing. I'll tell you, as we discuss, and let's discuss that game first. I didn't give the Vikings a chip chair or a chance against the Saints, and there was a good reason for it. Last week against the Saints, the New Orleans media was talking about what the temperature would be like in Green Bay this week. They had totally overlooked the Vikings. The Vikings have a history of not being able to get up for good, big games. And of course, Kirk Cousins had the monkey on his back of not being able to perform in big games and being able to win big games. I think it's a smart bet to bet on the 49ers in this game. Of course, it's a home game. Although the Vikings do match up very well, probably better against the 49ers than they do the Saints. The Vikings have the Saints number in recent years. But the 49ers are a special team this year. They really are. Even though they're injured, they're dinged up, and the Vikings could get by the 49ers in this one because of Dalvin Cook and Madison and the running game. And a stellar defense. If they play stellar defense against the 49ers, they do have a very good shot of an upset. In fact, Bucky Brooks, who's a former New England Patriots front office guy who's on the Colin Cowherd show quite often, picked the Vikings to upset the 49ers this weekend.
All right, let's just go with your picks. We got a lot to get through here.
No, I know.
So you're picking San Francisco
I'm picking San Francisco in this one. My heart says Vikings, but my brain again says San Francisco. I really do think San Francisco is going to end up in the Super Bowl this year. I think they're a special team, and I think that they're going to end up in the Super Bowl. So I'm going San Francisco over the Vikings. The late game on Saturday is the Tennessee Titans against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are that other special team this year that, Lamar Jackson is a quarterback that is just amazing, not only in the run game, which you definitely need to get the Super Bowl, but he's something special when it comes to passing as well. I don't think anybody gets to the Ravens until they get to the Super Bowl. So I think the Ravens beat the Titans, even though the Titans beat the Patriots last week and are a special team themselves. The Ravens beat the Titans on Saturday. Sunday's game, Houston walks into Kansas City. You've got the Texans versus the Chiefs. There's that... you got that quarterback for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, who's pretty special. And you've got a defense that's... but you know what? They're going to step up to the occasion. It's a home game for the Chiefs. And in Kansas City, that atmosphere there in Kansas City is pretty special as well. The Chiefs get by the Texans and they go on to the AFC Championship game. And I tell you, the Ravens and Chiefs is a championship game that I'm looking forward to. Here's where we get kind of dicey, my friend. The Seahawks and the Packers in Lambeau. Vegas is heavily leaning on the Packers. I know what my heart says.
Uh-huh.
My heart says I want Seattle in the worst way.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to pick against the Packers at home in this one.
They have not been looking great this season.
They're not. That's the thing. They're so dicey.
Yeah.
It depends on what team shows up. You know, the last time the Packers had a bye this year, they lost. And they lost pretty handily.
Right.
They've had 2 weeks to sit around and take a look. And Seattle has a sneaky way of winning.
Yep.
I'm going to pick the upset here. And I'm going to say Seattle beats the Packers at home. Now, I'm probably going to be really wrong about it. And the Packers are probably going to move on. And you're probably going to see San Francisco and Green Bay in the championship game in San Francisco. But I think the Seahawks beat the Packers. I just think that championship game is going to be Seattle and San Francisco in San Francisco. I'm
more for a Green Bay, Minnesota NFC championship game. That's my hopes.
I would love to see that. I would love to see the Vikings and Green Bay one more time. And I would love to see the Vikings beat Green Bay in that rubber match. But
then if we were to win, that puts us back as a repeat of Super Bowl IV, Tim, with the Kansas City Chiefs.
See, I don't think Kansas City gets past the Ravens.
The Ravens. Yeah, I know Ravens are going to be tough to beat, but I've watched them fall as well. I'm just saying.
I think it's all-purple Super Bowl if it's Ravens and Chiefs and the Vikings get in. I to be honest with you, but I don't think the Vikings go that far. I really don't think they get past this weekend. But that's just me. I don't think Kirk Cousins has it in him to be to lead that team that far. I don't think he has it in him. He's not.
All right. So what are our picks so far? You've gone San Francisco, Seattle, the Ravens, and the Chiefs.
Okay.
So those are your picks for this week. NFL playoffs continue. And the divisional round, every play, every possession right now, folks, is important. It's on the line. Plus, you've got all kinds of great championship games for college. You've got all kinds of stuff going on, NBA. You've got NHL. And if you want to place bets, go to betonline.ag. And don't forget the promo code PODCAST1, PODCASTONE, for your 50% sign-up bonus. betonline.ag. Your online sportsbook experts. All right, where are we off to next in the world of supernatural news?
We're going to San Antonio in what sounds like an absolutely wonderful time. You can sip cocktails and hunt ghosts at the most haunted spot in San Antonio this spring. That sounds wonderful, actually.
Okay, yeah, sign me up.
Liquid courage is a real thing, and when you're dealing with the paranormal, that's exactly what you need. I don't know that you do it, same time, but hey, why not? Friday the 13th is coming up yet again this March, and you can celebrate by spending the evening at San Antonio's most haunted inn, booze included, and it'll be an event that you can never or will never forget. Curious Twins Paranormal and Ghost Tours is hosting a Friday the 13th cocktail ghost tour next month, and attendees are in for a spooky good time. March is yet another month that has a Friday the 13th in it. And while many will be out getting tattoos, you could be at Victoria's Black Swan Inn. The inn is said to be the most haunted one in all of San Antonio with ghosts galore, and there are 2 tour times with only 25 slots available for each, so be sure to reserve your spot today. The tour will include 4 cocktail stops, cheese boards, fresh fruit, snacks, coffee, dessert, and of course, ghost stories. You hear every chilling story the inn has to offer while being guided by one of their skilled tour guides. The inn has already been featured in Ghost Adventures, Sightings, and It Feels Evil, so it's definitely the real deal. You may even leave with a ghost story of your own. Tickets for the tour are just $55. Be sure to bring a friend, and you don't want to go into something like that alone, obviously. And you don't want to drink alone, too. I mean, that's pretty lonely.
Speak for yourself. I can drink by myself if I wanted, Tim.
Well, sure. I mean, but only Elkies do that. Just saying. I'm just saying. If you're looking for even more spooky things to do in the future, Curious Twins Paranormal and Ghost Tours offers cemetery tours and much, much more. Again, that's $55 Friday, March 13th. And why you need to go, obviously, you're visiting a haunted inn, and it's a perfect way to spend your Friday the 13th. And the fact that there's booze there is just a plus. So there you go.
All right. Oh, by the way, I do have one story to wrap up today, Tim.
Sure.
It's my new edition of the Creepy Crawler Moment.
Okay.
Because we kind of set a new standard with the tick in the ear.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and the what was the other one? Tick in the ear, and there was some other nasty bug incident.
The roach. The roach laying
in
eggs.
The ear. Yeah, laying eggs in the ear.
Yeah.
I've got a horrific story, which promises to make you crawl in every possible way.
Oh, boy.
But where are we off to next?
Lauren Goodger thinks her house is haunted as a poltergeist wreaks havoc with the lights. The former Towie star is convinced her bedroom lights are being turned on and off by a mysterious presence. Lauren Goodger is convinced her house is haunted by a poltergeist as her bedroom lights keep switching on and off. The 33-year-old former Towie star took to Instagram to explain the spiritual happenings at home, telling her 706,000 followers that the bulbs around her Hollywood-style mirror are being messed with. In the video, Lauren explains, "So the second night in a row, my light has come on. I go to sleep, it's off. I wake up and it's on." Lauren is adamant that she's not controlling the lights, but she's hoping it's angels giving her a sign rather than a ghostly presence. She added, "I asked angels for something. Is this a sign?" In her next Instagram story, the paranormal activity seems to have intensified as Lauren tells followers, "And I'm not lying, it just got brighter, LOL." At least she appears to be laughing about the mystery. At the end of December, Lauren had a stint in the hospital after being rushed into emergency services on Boxing Day. Concerning Instagram posts suggested that the surgically enhanced star was really not in a good way lately after she said, "I feel like I'm dying." In another post, she shared the mind and body are not separate. What affects one affects the other. According to sources, she has been released from the hospital and has been recovering at home. Lauren has been surrounded by controversy recently after being tricked into promoting a poisonous drink that contains cyanide. It was all part of a BBC sting called Blind Boy Undestroys the World, in which they see how far celebrities are willing to go to promote products to unsuspecting followers. The show revealed that Lauren, alongside many other social media stars, agreed to promote the drink without even trying it first. Yikes. Not good.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that.
Nope.
That's me. I'm picky that way.
Well, I think most people should be.
Yeah. All right. What else have you got for us?
Talking about the ghost that has haunted Lincoln Park for 40 years, this ghostly apparition has left people terrified. It can be a disconcerting experience walking through Lincoln at night, but one area in particular has a checkered past. Forget muggers and rogue animals. There's one paranormal creature that has left people terrified for decades. It's the Faceless Man of Bolton Park. This phantom has been seen only a number of times over the decades, but it has left its mark on those who have been unfortunate enough to come across it. The tale goes that the man resides near the lake in Bolton Park and can be seen by people walking through the park at night, made discernible by his lack of face and his apparent floating motion as he moves. The specter has drawn the attention of Dr. Rob Gandy, who works as a health statistician and travels around the UK cataloging paranormal events. Dr. Gandy has previously looked into the creepy Ruskington horror, which has terrified drivers on the A15 near Sleaford for decades. After putting out an appeal for more information on the ghostly terror, his attention was drawn to the Faceless Man by someone who got in touch with him. Faceless men are not an unknown phenomenon, he said. However, this one appears to have been seen by people on several occasions, which encourages me, he went on to say. Dr. Gandy says the most memorable haunting came in 1977 when two teenage girls decided to take a shortcut through the park to get home before curfew. Because they were running late, they decided to be brave and take a shortcut through Bolton Park, he said. Just after they went past the swings, one girl looked behind her and saw a man come from behind the tree. He was dressed in a long, light-colored mac and a hat. It would not be unusual to see this, but there was one problem. It was near pitch black at the time. She recollects that it didn't seem strange at the time that she could see him, even though it was really dark, he said. However, she did notice that he didn't have a face. The girls started walking faster, and she remembers looking again as the man seemed to float into the bushes by the side of the lake. The terrified girl didn't say anything to her oblivious friend in case she panicked and ran off, but told her after they got out of the park. When she did tell her what she had seen, her friend wasn't totally surprised because she said that others had seen him or whatever it was there in the past, he said. Dr. Gandy is asking anyone who might have seen the faceless man to get in touch and share their experience with him. When people have strange events happen to them, they can fear being ridiculed, he said. Apart from the obvious hoax calls, I believe everybody that gets in touch, he went on to add, or he added. If you have an eerie experience in Bolton Park or have seen something similar while walking through the area, you can get in touch with Dr. Gandy at Gandy31 at ntlworld.com. He can also be reached on 01513 349 248.
Did you all memorize that? Because I'm not reading it again.
That's right.
Maybe it's easier to reach out to our phone number. We want to hear from you on our Voices from Beyond voicemail, 651-300-4977, 651-300-4977. That's the number to call, and share your real-life encounters with the supernatural. All right, Tim, how many stories do we have left?
We have one left, Dave.
One left before I drop the itchy bomb.
Oh, the itchy bomb.
Yeah. All right. What have you got?
By the way, I love me some itchy bomb. You ever ate there before?
It's Itchy Bonds. Different one.
Itchy Bond. Okay. We go to this last story to a Cannock pub where a Ouija board says to go to the cellar. I don't know that that's a good thing, though. Ghost hunters were told to go to the cellar while using a Ouija board at a 16th century pub. That was one of the ghostly experiences during a paranormal investigation at Cannock's Four Crosses pub. It is believed the pub, a former coaching inn, is one of Britain's most haunted places. This is what makes the Four Crosses, Watling Street, a popular destination for ghost hunters. Dusk Till Dawn were the latest investigators to explore the building in a bid to contact the dead. Around 18 guests took part, paying £45 a ticket, and there was a number of paranormal events which were reported. Jessica Gladwin, the company's owner, said guests had the chance to use our ghost hunting equipment, including the Ouija board. This proved informative, with several names being spelt along with the guests being told to go to the cellar. Speaking about the other paranormal activity which allegedly happened, she continued, some guests said they were being touched and had to step out of the room temporarily. In the downstairs former bar area, there were knocks, taps, and cracks which were heard. The sound seemed to come from a large round table. Some guests said they felt the presence of a young girl who hid in the bathroom, and some said they sensed the presence of the sisters also. Inside the pub are old shipping timbers, eerie stairwells, and a dark cellar, giving the building a spooky character. The Four Crosses featured on the TV program Great British Ghosts, which was a documentary presented by Michaela Strachan. There were no mediums or psychics present during Dusk Till Dawn's tour, but instead professional ghost hunters were on hand. A large part of the company's approach is to try and engage guests with the investigating side as much as possible. Jessica added, everybody is psychic and everybody has got it in them, if you know what I mean. You just need to be open-minded. So there you go.
All right, those are the rules. Okay, folks, I promised a horrifying story to fit into our creepy crawler story of the week. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I guess so.
Tim, just a headline.
Uh-huh.
All right, here's the headline, Tim. Are you ready? Are you ready, Tim?
All righty.
Father is horrified to find a worm inside his 3-year-old son's IV tube
No.
while the boy is undergoing therapy.
No.
A horrified Chinese father has found what he believed to be a worm in his young son's IV tube while the boy was undergoing the therapy. The furious parent claimed that his 3-year-old child had been on the drip for about 5 minutes when he saw the maggot stuck in the disposable device at the hospital in the Sichuan province. The state-run hospital has put the child under medical observation and apologized to the family. The incident came to light after a video which went viral this past Monday showed a man confronting a medical worker while holding an IV tube that looked like a worm was stuck inside it. At the beginning of the video, a nurse can be seen ending an IV therapy session. She took the IV off the bag, and inside the tube connected to the bag, a tiny object appeared to be jammed. The clip then captured the father yelling at the medic. He can be heard shouting from behind the camera, This is the People's Hospital? The man then focused the camera at the suspect and medical equipment and said, This worm is in an IV bag. He scolded the nurse, saying that this fluid was injected into my child's body. Oh, God. He'd been suffering. The kid had been suffering from flu, came to the hospital for IV therapy 4 times a day. How about that? A worm in your IV tube. Oof, good God. Well, that's it for this week's Supernatural News Parashare edition, Tim. And we will be back next week with more stories to share, more news from around the world. And remember, check out on today's post, we've got a link to our shop. Also, you can find the information at Heart Crate, so go check it out. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. And check out our shop. When you go into our shop and order anything through those Amazon links, just so you know, even if you're not ordering the stuff we have, if you go in through our link, a small percentage of every sale goes into our coffers. So please consider using that link every time you go to shop through Amazon. I deeply appreciate it. That's it for this week. We'll see you again tomorrow. We've got a brand new edition. We've got an interview lined up you're going to want to check out. We're going to go deep into the world of the supernatural and high strangeness right here on Beyond the Darkness.